Incoming mail.
Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to today's market color session. My name is Abigail and I'll be taking the first half of today's analysis, which will be covering commodity currencies. So by that I mean we'll be touching on AUD/USD, NZD/USD and USD CAD. After which Demola is going to come do his analysis on indices. Okay, I see a couple of us online. Good morning. It's so good to have each and everyone here. Let us now see what the market has in store for us today, shall we? So we're going to be starting with a look at NZD/USD. Let's start from the H4 time frame to see what this market is doing. Now, from our last analysis session, we stated wanting to see deeper retracement into these zones for us to now continue to sell in line with the structure that has been breaking since somewhere around June. Now, price is not fully retraced into this zone. However, this is still a level of interest. Let's go to H1 to have a better picture. This is still a level of interest for me. However, I'm going to slightly adjust these POIs to reflect what the market is currently showing. And these are the zones I'll still be waiting for price to eventually trade into and continue to sell from. I'm still expecting price to buy more. Price already bought into this zone. The momentum indicator giving a retest, expecting price to still buy back into this level. If it doesn't trade into this zone, we're going to see some confirmation patterns on the lower time frame that give us the insights that NZD/USD is going to start to sell from this momentum indicator down here. Now, I understand that not all of us have these indicators. Please don't let it confuse you. Just take note of the price points. Take note of the price point around these zones and, take advantage of this session. So I'm expecting price to still pull back into those zones. These are levels we marked out from. You see price eventually came here, did all of this, came traded below it. So I'm going to now draw out today's POI, mark it out into today's price movement, so that when price is now trading off of that level or trades into that level, we'll know what we're looking for. So yesterday's low, which happens to be in confluence with the day before yesterday's low. So just that, yesterday's high right here, and then day before yesterday's high. Marked into today, right? So what did I say I was looking for? I'm looking to see if price is going to continue buying into this zone, 0.57082. And if price does not buy into this zone, I want to see a break below these levels on the M5 for me to now say, okay, it's like this sell has resumed. So price is currently trading from a resistance acting as current support. Are you going to buy? If I see price buy and breaks above this level, I know what price is heading for, then I'll be looking at price trading into 0.57. However, if price does not trade above, give me confirmation and just keeps breaking below, then I'll be looking for confirmations to take my sell move. Now looking at AUD/USD on H4, starting from H4 as well, zoom in a bit so we have a better picture. So Sunshine pointed, so we expected this buy. I made money off this move. We expected this buy to happen on AUD/USD, and we said this buy was going to happen, but happen into what zone? H1. On the H1 zone level, rather, or time frame, we marked out certain POIs. You see that price already traded into the zone and violated to the upside. So it has violated, trading back into this momentum. Is it possible that we see a final move of AUD/USD that could do something like this, sell a bit lower, and then give us a buy from here? It's likely. I'm going to go ahead and delete this so that we don't have too many diagrams on the chart. Okay, so let's go on M5 to have a better picture, because H1 is not as clear as I would prefer. And we often say if it is not obvious, it is dubious, right? We're not looking to force ourselves into the market on one certain asset class. There are numerous to look through. But for the sake of this session, we'll be looking at AUD/USD and the other two. And if you don't see any clear opportunity, we can now focus on indices. So POI1, POI2, point of interest 3, marked out into today's price movement. And this happens to be in confluence with the day before yesterday's level. So these are now my zones. Price already traded into this zone. It didn't trade into that level today, but you can see that it came to test the H1 time frame 0.65270 and it's selling. So now that price is here, I think AUD/USD is going to sell down here. It's going to do this temporal buy and then give us a sell move downward into 0.65020. Then when price now trades into that level, we'll now want to see if AUD/USD is going to break through to keep selling or is going to continue to buy from this support that happens to be in confluence with the trend. So what is my bias for AUD/USD? I'm basically saying I want to see a temporal sell, and this now becomes an area where I want to see if support holds. If support holds, we're going to be buying AUD/USD. However, if support does not hold, I'd want to see a break below these zones for the sell to continue. So right now, this is what my final position is dependent on. And then USD CAD H4. So we spoke about this sell last week. See how beautifully it played out. Remember, we always say that the all-weather strategy, which is basically this indicator, gives us the opportunity to counter trade sometimes as well. So you see how price traded below, it sold from what we discussed. So let's go back to H4 to see if we have a new sunshine printed. So this sunshine is still there. So this buy, this retracement is something I'm still looking for. I think USD CAD should buy into this zone. So I'll go ahead and delete this. Price already traded above this. This could be a retest and a buy of USD CAD into 1.40781. So similar to what I did on the asset classes, I'll just draw out M5 POI and then we'll wait to see what price does. We'll also then look at indices to see if we have clear moves or clearer moves opportunities today. So these are now the zones I'm looking at. You can see USD CAD is giving more insight for a buy. So I think we're going to see a temporal buy from where price currently is upward, somewhere inside 1.40650. And if it breaks through, this will be the next level. If all of this now eventually break through, what do we now think would happen on USD CAD? This could now be a deeper buy into 1.40781. And if price gets broken through here, it's buying all the way to the upside. So this is what I'm looking out for on commodity currencies. Let's watch out and see how that plays out. I see a couple of us just joining. You can always watch the recap on the YouTube channel. Just rewind in time to see what was discussed. And we're going to go on a very short break now before we reconvene to now look at indices. So if you have any questions, let me know and I'll answer them. Questions relating to commodity currencies before we move into our session on indices. All right, so I just saw, all right, Ayuba, thank you. Okay, so let's go on a very short break. We'll be back shortly to continue this session. Please don't go anywhere, stick around. Cheers and God bless.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the second part of the markets color session. We'll be looking at the US equities markets. That's US 30, NAS 100, and also S&P 500. So, very briefly, we'll be looking at opportunity in those markets and whether or not we can take advantage of them even today. All right, let me share my screen. Give me some minutes. Let me share my screen. Okay, I believe you can see my screen now, right? All right, let's start with US 30. All right. So last week we have multiple uh entry into the market, some areas we marked out for the markets to react from. Tuesday and on Thursday too, right? And then we saw this was the first one, and this is the second one that we wanted market to buy from this zone. However, price didn't eventually, start the buy from this zone, from this other block here. It dug deep into it, into the entire daily order block, which is this. Okay. It dug entirely into this order block here, right? This entire order block, and then we started seeing the push up from this zone to the upside, which is quite interesting. So we were taking out from the second entry on Thursday. I guess that was the second entry we had on Thursday. Although some pair actually did, probably one is to two, some did one is to three, perhaps. But then US 30 specifically, I didn't see even up to 1:1 on this trade. It just tried to, activate the pending order, after which it now took us out, which is fine. I mean, it's the market, right? But what do we have today? Price has rejected from this entire order block that we wanted it to reject from. And price action candlestick is what I'm seeing this morning. Very, very solid price action kind of candlestick. Look at this. We have like a morning star on this area, in this area, right? Like a bearish, and then the pin bar, and then followed by an engulfing candle. Is a very solid candlestick pattern that is happening on the daily time frame, happening on a discount level again, right? If you use your fib, happening below 50% of your fib. So it's quite interesting because this definitely should send price to the upside. I want to believe technical analysis wise, we are back to being bullish, right? Because of this candlestick that I'm seeing, bearish followed by a pin bar, and then finally by an engulfing. It's a very significant candlestick pattern, or candlestick, pattern on the daily time frame. So I should see price, moving to the upside. And this is the drawn liquidity, closest drawn liquidity here, that would see all of this go into. All right. So on the 4-hour time frame, what do we have? On the 4-hour time frame, the market is still in a way bearish on the 4-hour time frame, right? We want to see like this, although we've seen a shift here. This is the first shift of structure here, and it has been retested. Price shift structure to the upside, and then came and tap 50% of the fair value gap to continue, right? And so we have another shift that needs to happen here. And we have the shift first, and then like a proper break of structure from this zone, meaning we see something like this, then we wait for price somewhere around here, anywhere around this zone, for it to continue its movement to the upside, right? So that's what I have this morning. The first shift has happened, and then price has tested it, except if we think, or we want to mark out this zone as an area that price will come back into again. I don't think so, but I mean, this is the market. You can't, we are all using all the tools available at our disposal to make analysis. So um, there's a chance that price taking out this internal liquidity might come back into this, and then probably another block, if ever look up some, yes, right? We have this again. So I think this is a good place for me to want to buy today, right? This is a good place for me to buy today. This other block, right? This other block. But that will be predicated on the fact that we've seen a break to the upside, right? And this is like a very good box pattern, like a sweep, a break, this break of this zone. That's what I'm saying. And then price coming back into this for us to continue our push to the upside again. That will be like 1:something, 1:, not that easy actually. 1:2. Let me extend it. At least 1:3. If I want to take this, I'll do 1:3 here, right? So, but then the first indication of this happening well for me, a very good setup will be a break, a sweep of this level of this high, right? Price taking out this high, then coming back into this zone, then we can now begin to even set pending orders or take instant execution. It will make more sense with that. All right, that's pretty much what I have on US 30 this morning, right? And on US 100, also on the daily time frame, price dug deep into all of this level, into the other block. I was thinking price is going to react some here, but no, we didn't get that, right? Although it rejected into that zone, making it that we are still bullish, right? We are still bullish to the upside, still bullish because of the rejection, and then every rejection, in fact, on the daily time frame, yeah, every rejection, and then look at what we have. But yeah, we don't have the engulfing yet. We don't have the engulfing. But I believe with what we have here that we are bullish, because this week followed by this candlestick is a strong indication of bullish strength in the market. On the 4-hour time frame, we have this. Okay, let me put this here. This breaker block turn to, if price comes back here, this will make it a mitigation block, right? This other block that was violated, price coming back into this zone to make it a very valid mitigation block, but we don't have that yet. It's just an assumption. It's just an assumption. What we have now is a sweep of this zone, and then for me, I want to buy from this zone, right? From this zone, which is still in agreement with this mitigation block theory, right? That price take out another block and then goes back in the direction of that other block, coming to retest it again to continue its movement, right? But me, if price is coming down, I want to take buys from here. Why? Because we have a sweep of this. But then the only strong indication for all of this that I'm saying is that price takes out this eye over here, right? Takes out this eye over here. Then I'll consider this like a proper shift of structure, right? Price a shift structure on the lower time frame, and then we can now actually start looking for actual buys in this market. But for what we have now, is not ripe for a buy yet, at least not yet. We have to see like a proper shift or structure that will now give us more confidence to look out for buys in the market. And the 1-hour time frame, let me see if there's anything. We have like a shift already happening here. A shift has happened, but then this break is more confirmed, like it's more confirmation for what we should expect. All right, this break of structure is like an additional confirmation, which is very valid. If we want to really, really take A plus setup, right? So I will see price take out this and then come back into this zone for us to continue what we have in the market. Also S&P 500, similar analysis with S&P 500, right? This morning, the daily dug deep into these zones, and then we are back to the upside, and then waiting for price to shift structure on the lower time frame, right? And with that, we can now begin to take trades for US 500, that's S&P 500. there's like a shift already, right? They break and they even shift, like a shift here and then a break of structure to this upside. Then we on 1 hour time frame, so you can all see clearly, right? There's a shift of structure here and then also like break of structure, right? And then expect anything that makes price to come. Okay. Sorry. Coming. Okay, I actually don't need this. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to do something. Use my GAN tool. Anything that makes price comes below this zone, then we can start looking out for buys, right? We can start looking out for buys in the market. That is what I'll be, yes, that is what I'll be looking out for today, especially for US markets, right? Anything that makes price come below this 0.5%, like 50%, then we should start looking out for buys in this market because we've seen a shift, a break, and then price swept liquidity is like a box pattern now, right? But on the higher time frame, right? There's a shift, there's a sweep here, and then a shift of structure. We expect that price coming anywhere below here. We have fair value gaps, we have even other blocks, though this has been tested, but we have fair value gap that we can take advantage of. So that will be my outlook for this market today. I'm bullish on this market. However, I want to see like a proper shift in structure and also BOS, break of structure for some pair like US30 before I take the trigger for my buy or sell in this market. All right, that's pretty much what I have this morning. It's a good time to ask a question. If I have any question, Anna, Ezekiel, Mr. Dan, Pips Don't Lie, and Samuel Clement. Do we have any question? Do we have any contribution? Anything you are seeing that I'm not seeing clearly? Observation in the markets, let me know so that we can look at it together and together make our week a profitable one. Do we have any question? Anna, Ezekiel, Mr. Dan, Pips Don't Lie, Spiritual Investment. Which other name do I know you ask? And Living Sacrifice. Do you have any question? Mr. Samuel, do you have any question? All right, there's the question. There's the question. There's the question. All right, thank you so much, guys, for joining. You say? All right, I believe there's no question. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We'll see you again by 2 p.m. in the afternoon, where we look at, if we have any discrepancies in our analysis or anything that we need to realign in the market. Cheers and God bless everyone. I wish you all a profitable trading today. God bless.